Hi everyone, welcome to Brett and my first attempt at being business people. Ultimately it comes down to, do you trust that I'm, making it as quickly as possible?
Are you really asking me that?
Yeah, well, it just seems like every time it's like, oh, we need to get this done by this. It's like, oh, well, and then it's like, well, I don't know how long things take because I'm not a programmer, blah, blah, blah. And we've had this conversation before, and here we are again, spend half an hour talking about it, and then it's like what have we achieved? We're kind of at the same point we were at the end of the last time we talked about this. That's all.
So I think there's probably a compromise here somewhere, which is...
Well, what do you want?
I will endeavour to never ask you for a finish date for anything again, if in return you can tell me, what's happening.
Well, yeah, you can ask for a finish date on what I'm working on currently.
I don't want a finish date now. What I'd rather is just to, tell me what's happening.
Cool. Awesome.
I don't...
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, good.
And I'm not saying...
You look my Trello.
You started... That's the thing, yeah, it's great, I can look at your Trello, but none of that is going to make sense to me. So, what I'm saying is, going back to the point you were making before about whether I trust you or not, it's got nothing to do with whether I trust you. I've said that before, that, if I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have taken a fucking mortgage on my house and bet on the two of us that we would do it, that. So you can take that as far off the fucking table as you need.
Okay.
So for me, to understand a little bit more about what it is that you're doing, how you do it, whatever, if that's just a conversation in the morning when we have breakfast. Ooh. I don't think I'm asking for too much.
And like you said before you turned the camera on, this is not a social application.
Absolutely not.
So this is between there's no incentive, there's no ulterior motive.
Correct.
To, people love going for a walk and tracking it on the thing and then posting that walk on Facebook or whatever it is and saying, look how great I am, I went for this walk.
That's right. That's right.
And that's fantastic for those people. Good on them.
Yeah.
But this is not about that. This is not about you going, look, I'm fantastic. My mental capacity and strength is so strong, and I acknowledge my weaknesses and whatnot.
Do you know what? I have just realised while you're talking there. This does have a social aspect to it, in the same way that going for a walk and sharing that does. Now, this is not a social community like something like Runkeeper, for example, is. You have friends on there, you share, where you've gone, you share your best time, your worst time, you can compete against each other, right? So that's a good example of something that helps physical health and is social. So this is designed to help, hopefully, mental health, but more importantly, self-awareness, self-improvement. So while you don't want to share the intimacies of what you've written, maybe you do want to share that you used it. So we don't care about the content. We don't care about what you look like, what you said, but what we do care about, and what you should care about, is having the option to say to people, I'm proud of the fact that I just contributed to improving myself, and I'm happy to share that with the world. What I'm not going to share with you is how I did that, because that's personal to me.
So currently there's no logins, because I've already logged in before I logged back out, so there's no login associated with this account. So I log in. Fantastic. There's no issues. Thanks for being part of the Crucial team. We sent you an email that you can use to log in. See you soon. Okay? Yeah. And I can see here that's generated the login. So currently there is a valid login token because it's been less than 15 minutes since it was last created. So if I close the Crucial team, whatever, let's go back to it. Here we are. Email address again. So still a valid token. Awesome. It looks like we've already sent you a link that you can use to log into your account. It's okay. We'll wait here while you check your email. So it knows, hey, there's a valid login link. We're not going to send you another one right now.
Yeah.
But if like it's gone to, like, we still don't want to prevent them from sending a login link.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's like, look, check your spam, do all that kind of stuff. Have a look at your email. It could be there because it is there, you know. But click here if the link's gone walkabout. Sure. Click it. Boom. Link that's you can use to log in to your account is being transported to you via the Miracle of email. Please note the link will expire in 15 minutes.
Yep.
So there's the new link.
Okay.
Yeah. So currently, if I scroll up to the
Old
link and click on it, it appears the page you're after doesn't exist. It's not. See, you know, this is where the whole
yeah.
And I understand why it's doing it, because it goes, let's look at the login token for this link, see if it matches the user. No, it doesn't. And it doesn't know what previous login tokens looked like. And I don't want to build the functionality to like track the login tokens or whatever. No. That's too much effort. But what it does know from this link is it knows that the email address. So it could check to see if there is a valid login token and say, this link doesn't work for this account, but it looks like there is one that could. Check your email. But then that's too specific for someone. Like if I'd given you the link, then for you that wouldn't make sense because it'd be like, check your email. Well, no, it's for a different account.
Yeah.
So this is where the whole generic response would come in. Brett and I have been talking about progressive web apps, which might be a foreign term to a lot of people, but if you Google it, you'll find some information on progressive web apps from Google themselves. Pretty much what it is it uses native service workers on your device that allows the web application to look and behave like a native app, which means having like a home screen icon to launch it, for it to not open in a browser type interface, for it to look like an app, and for it to function without, like if you have no internet connection, it'll still function to the best of its ability. Obviously let me know if you need an internet connection, and kind of be the full app experience without ever having to go to the Play Store or App Store and download by whatever. You literally just do it from the web page. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're going to give it a shot because we don't have the funds nor the resources to make an Android application that works across all Android devices and an iPhone application that works across all iPhones and iPads. So, I'm sure I'm not the only one with this kind of sentiment though. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are hurriedly making progressive web apps. So we're going to give it a crack and hopefully it pays off. Like just then I literally sent it and here it is. But because of that email load thing, so what I can do is show the full message, copy the headers, and Google have a Google header analyzer, which then tells you, it just looks at the header and tells you, I'm sure I could probably read it from the header and it'll tell me. So 65 seconds still for that. That's how we got to it. So it hasn't been expedited yet. Don't worry, it's fine.
It's
this is my
3
problem.
days to get
Don't worry. Oh, when I say don't worry, you're just going to have to accept that it's don't worry. Move on to something else. This is part of what we talked about. If I'm worried, then you can be worried. I'm not worried, so don't be worried. This is one of the problems that we find at the Crucial team. I'm the tech side of things, and there's a tech problem, and if I say don't worry, and Brett then continues to worry, it pisses me off. Brett is a sucker for new tech gimmicks. This is a water bottle. It's not just any water bottle though.
It's a hydrate spark.
Yep, cool. So if I go to this app on my phone, so I've had about 1.1 litres of water, right? I drink water, and then in theory this should increase. I don't know if it is, but hopefully it has. There we go. 1, 2, 4, 3. So it just makes sure, it kind of makes drinking water into a game. And now we have to worry about our water bottle's battery.
That's a first world problem. That's like the definition of a first world problem.
Oh no, my water bottle's running out of battery. Oh, we don't have any water.
Oh. Well, you probably don't need to worry about your water bottle battery then.
I promise we're not horrible people as much as Brett tries to portray us as horrible people. When they write it in, it doesn't get added to this list, because then that shows up on everyone's list.
Correct.
We don't trust that. You could write dicks and balls, and then when someone types in D, dicks and balls comes up.
Yep.
Don't want that to happen.
No.
Maybe every user could have their own list. So we have our list, and then when you add one that's on the list, it puts it into their own list. Yeah, so this is Joe. So Joe goes and does his interaction, and when he starts typing in, it doesn't auto-complete from this and this. Every person who does a custom skill has their own list of skills.
Mm-hmm.
Which some people it could be really short because they use all of the skills, and it could be really long because they're really obscure ones. So now what you've got is skill review, so you could have a most common skills. Yeah, and then you've got the list. What you're doing is you're doing this big clean sweep with the biggest brush possible, because this lists them in most common occurrences. So you know that by approving this one, you're going to fucking, who knows what number it is the most. You're going to clear off an item from these people's list, and then same thing, you just, away we go, away we go, away we go. And who knows, you might end up just approving 10 items, but have then catered to 90% of the items in this list.
Hello, Richard speaking.
Hi Richard, it's Brett Stone, how are you?
Well, thanks, Brett.
That's good. Thanks for sending through the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
So we're just going through it at the moment, and just had a couple of questions about 5.1, the issue of login.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So I guess with that line, it just says, that we'll issue or approve a single user ID and password. Now, we're not going to use a password at the moment, but we may change.
So you just dropped out there, sorry.
We're not going to use a password at the moment, but we may change that later. So our question is, do we leave it in, and then that way it protects us later on if we want to issue the password, or give people the option to do passwords? But if we leave it in and we don't issue a password, or allow people to have passwords, does that put us at risk of saying that we would do so and therefore we haven't because we used the email validation instead?
Look, it should reflect what you're intending to do, so my recommendation would be to sort of add wording so you can do either of those things.
So Brett, we're live now on Facebook. Where are we heading?
We're heading to the CEO Sleepout for Vinny's.
Yep. So where are we going to be sleeping?
In this.
I don't think it's exactly this. We hopefully will have some cover, but
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting night, regardless, I reckon.
We're going to be at the exhibition building, otherwise known as Jeff Shed, huddled amongst other directors and executives and CEOs, I guess, that have chosen to forego a nice warm bed for a night to try and understand a little bit about what it might be like to sleep on to have to sleep on the streets.
Any regrets?
Of course. You look outside, it's pouring with rain, and I'm wearing 4 layers and gloves, and I feel like I'm going to the snow right now. So there's absolutely regrets, but I think the gravity of the situation and what we're hopefully contributing towards makes the regrets slide away very quickly.
And Jesus, how much have we raised?
So we've actually raised, I hope people can still hear me, whoa, easy mate. We've raised $1,330 up until now, but I guess people can still donate if they want to, but yeah, that's how much we've raised so far, which is amazing, because we set the target of 5,000 hoping that we would get 1,000, and we've already beaten that, so it's a success.
Yeah. So, quick update. We've made it to the city, and it's sort of flooding. It's like we're in a boat right now. So, hopefully where we're sleeping doesn't resemble this.
Hey folks, it's Brett here, and interesting. And we've got our spot outside here. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna go flip the camera. So right, there's the bins, and that's where we're sleeping. So it's quite a spot really. Now Tristan has self-proclaimed that he's the master of building the teepee-like structure that will protect our heads during the night. And so he's going to try and do that right now.
I feel a little bit like Bear Grylls. And this is weird.
Look a bit like him too.
Oh, we've been out here for 10 minutes. Time to drink my own beer. This is better than my bed at home.
So what are you doing now?
So after successfully creating your TV, I'm going to do a stellar job of creating my TV.
Alright, so mine was like the test unit.
Yeah, so I did yours first.